You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
A developing story this morning, a manhunt underway for a shoplifter who deputies say forced a lockdown of a Manatee County school.
Ooh, and dramatic video. We're going to show you the moments that led up to this Miami officer slapping a man in handcuffs.
And mystery solved on the story about the woman who rang a doorbell with handcuffs from her wrist. Will tell you why she was in distress and who she was trying to avoid. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. And good morning, early risers. Glad you're with us. Final day of the week, final day of the month, too, isn't it?
That is. Yeah, it's going to be September now, all the way through the summer-ish. First day, well, tomorrow starts our holiday weekend.
That's true.
Today is a good day, folks. Over to John Scalzi. What is our day before the holiday weekend starts forecast?
You know, it's always like this. Just when you enter into a big holiday weekend, there are question marks on the forecast. Happens on 4th of July, happens on Labor Day. This is the way it works. We'll try to fill in all the details for you and give you some idea of what to expect over the weekend. It's unsettled, let's put it that way. The good news is you start off this morning and we'll have a little bit more sunshine around. The cloud cover is a little bit less than it was over the last 24 hours. Rain showers out in Gulf waters stay there. Morning commute looks just fine if you have one this morning. Otherwise, I really don't see any large-scale features that are going to bother us today. Now, we're continuing to watch a couple of things. One, an area of disturbed weather, of course, down in the Caribbean. That one has the potential to change our weather. And perhaps the next named storm, Florence, we'll discuss in detail as well. For us today, rain chances about where they were yesterday at 60% this afternoon. Timing of the storms about the same. We'll talk in detail about the weekend forecast in a minute.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking the roads right now. There's Manatee County, 301 southbound. Some early buildup there as you cross over 15th Street East at Samoset. Otherwise, not too much so far in Manatee County. You look at the northern half now of Sarasota. Bee Ridge Road, eastbound around Sawyer and Honore, some congestion there. Proctor Road, early buildup there as you head along Proctor around Beneva in that section. And then our final map to the south, several spots already. Up by Osprey, you'll see in both directions by the Oaks Country Club, 41 there in both directions, and also south in the Northport area in the section of Warm Mineral Springs.
Well, this morning, the hunt continues for a Walmart shoplifter after that incident actually sent one school into lockdown mode yesterday.
Unusual story. Marla Spence is live near the Manatee School for the Arts with the latest on this developing story. Marla?
Well, guys, police say they are continuing to search for that shoplifter this morning after taking a number of items from a local Walmart. That shoplifter ended up in this area, causing Manatee School of the Arts to go on lockdown yesterday afternoon. Now, police did tell us that they searched a wooded area near this school, but came up empty-handed. Take a look. These are surveillance photos showing the suspects accused of shoplifting a generator and possibly some other items from the Walmart on Palmetto. In Palmetto, Manatee School of the Arts campus security spotted the shoplifter near the school on Haven Boulevard Thursday afternoon, forcing the school to go on lockdown. Now, that shoplifter is described by police as being a white male in his 40s or 50s with a bald head and a band tattoo, and he was wearing black shorts and a black shirt.
A rumor went out, I guess it started with some of the kids at the school calling their parents saying that there was an armed man on campus. That was never the case. This is a shoplifting suspect.
And if you know the shoplifter or know his whereabouts, you are urged to call Palmetto Police and they will be taking any calls as possible to kind of close this case and knowing who took those items from Walmart as well as who caused this school to go on lockdown. Reporting live in Palmetto, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you so much, Marla. Well, Governor Scott wants more funding for school safety, and he's hoping to redirect millions of dollars from an existing count to do it. In a press release, he asked for $58 million from the state's Guardian program to be distributed among school districts for more safety. Now, only $9 million of the original $67 that was allocated for the program has been used so far. That was a fund that was set in motion after the Parkland shooting. Now, Scott says the unused money should be used to hire more school resource officers for this school year. Scott claims if not used, that $58 million will be stuck in Tallahassee, unable to be used for anything until next school year.
Police in Miami are reviewing some video of an arrest that appears to show an officer hit a man after he was in handcuffs. As reporter Jessica Holly tells us, it's raising concerns the officer might have used excessive force.
Cell phone video shows a guy take hits to the head from a Miami-Dade police officer. That's the voice of Jeffrey Nicholas. He says he witnessed the whole thing and let police know it was all on camera.
I'm yelling out, if you heard in the video, I'm yelling, hey, hey, like that, because I'm saying somebody's there watching you.
Neighbors say it all started with a commotion on their street Wednesday afternoon around 5:30 in the area of Southwest 158th Court and 144th Street. After police arrived, the man in the video did not appear to be cooperating, shouting profanities at officers.
He's refusing. As the video shows, he's refusing.
Police managed to get the man in cuffs, then this.
Hey, hey. After that, the cuffs were on him. Then why punch a kid when he's handcuffed?
Neighbors say police were in the area well into the night, and in the end, 26-year-old Jacksonville Gaston was arrested and charged with battery on an officer. After seeing this video, the director of Miami-Dade Police, Juan Perez, released a statement that reads in part, "The incident in its entirety is currently under internal investigation to ensure that the officer's actions were in accordance with established policies and procedures and consistent with the Miami-Dade Police Department's deeply held core values of integrity, respect, service, and fairness."
And closer to home, a massive recall from Publix over dozens of ground beef products that may be contaminated with E. coli. More than 18 cases of illness have been reported so far. Now, the items in the recall were purchased between June 25th and July 31st. Now, the USDA is urging people to check your freezer to see if you've got any of these items on the list. If so, either throw it out or bring it back to the store for a refund. Now, we've got a full list of all the products that are on the recall list online at mysuncoast.com.
In southern Manatee County, a development plan for the area of State Road 70 near Lockwood Ridge has some neighbors concerned about how the growth will impact them. Opponents say they originally bought homes there because of the peace. Now, some 350 houses are planned for the area. Some say, hey, not in our backyards.
A lot of people moved in the neighborhood because it is very quiet, it's very comforting. And by virtue of that, of course, you're going to just have a lot more business going on all the time.
Developer Taylor Morrison bought the lot from the city of Bradenton 2 years ago for $10 million. Before that, the city had planned to use that land as a reservoir.
Well, a massive 6-story U.S. flag is now flying in New York City this morning to remember the victims of 9/11. Now, it's a tradition that has been bringing friends, veterans, and volunteers together for years now. Greg Mocker reports.
2 minutes. This is the view 6 stories up at the corner of Hester and Mott Streets. This is the story.
Most of these guys either been first responders or guys, a bunch of them are veterans, young guys that are, of course, the new veterans from the new wars. And this is just to reaffirm our commitment and our love for the city and the country.
It happens every year around this time. A giant 60-foot by 30-foot flag is displayed on the corner building. It's to honor the people of September 11th, to commemorate the attacks at World Trade. You can see the new building from the rooftop. You can see it in their faces, what this means.
We do it because we don't want to forget the damage that we took.
John and his wife Denise own the building. They started the tradition with some fellow volunteers. They were mostly strangers before 9/11. Now they're friends, together forever.
It does get easy when you lose so many friends and family, and you know it touched everybody. And the bottom line is, you know, we embrace it now and we actually give it tribute, and that's what this flag's about.
I just think of like all the people down here getting together at a time that was really a tough time.
They've been doing this since 2002. The flag is on display until September 15th this year, when it will be lowered and stored, properly folded, which involves hundreds of people, another exercise in being together.
And that was Greg Mocker reporting.
Looking ahead to this weekend, downtown Venice will be hosting the 10th annual Craft Festival. It'll take place both Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's a craft showcase featuring all sorts of artists. It's a free event, and pets are welcome as well. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, mystery solved about the woman ringing a doorbell while wearing handcuffs on one wrist. It's a story that takes a strange twist.
And later in the hour, caught on camera, just how did thieves manage to get away with $30,000 worth of products from an Apple store in broad daylight? We'll tell you, but first.
It is 5:10 right now on this August 31st, Friday morning. There's a shot outside our studios, looking at a very peaceful Rosemary district and downtown Sarasota off in the distance. As far as the important Friday and weekend forecast, here's Professor John Scalzi.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're looking again at rain shower chances, probably straight through the weekend, although maybe one of the days might be a little less rainy than others. We'll talk about that in a minute. Rain boxes checked for your drive time forecast because, again, today of the trip home. I think the trip out to work this morning, you probably need some sunglasses. But by the time you come home, there'll be rain showers around. None of the airport hubs showing delays according to the FAA. We'll be right back with your forecast.
We believe in patriotism. We believe in our nation's youth. We believe veterans earn their benefits through their service to our nation. We believe in a strong national security. We believe in our country. For 100 years, veterans have been impacting our nation through the American Legion, and we believe it makes a difference. If you believe, learn more at legion.org/webelieve.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, fishing, or biking and hiking. Or play the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy the flavors of the Black Belt. Book your adventure at our lodges or stay in the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
What do you get when you cross your tired, aching back with this fragile egg? The Egg Sitter Cushion, an amazing new flex cushion that supports your backside and spine so well you can sit on an egg without breaking it. Incredible!
You want me to sit on this egg? Okay. I can't believe I'm doing this. I don't even feel it. It didn't even break? Oh, I was wondering about that. Now that's a good cushion.
The honeycomb design is constructed of Elasticor that absorbs pressure points by collapsing in on itself. That's why even this egg won't break under direct pressure. Now long days at the office will be more comfortable, dinner more enjoyable, and painful car rides a thing of the past. Get your Egg Sitter Support Cushion for just $39.99. It comes with a free non-slip washable cover and our 10-year comfort guarantee. But wait, call right now and you can get a second cushion. Just pay separate fee. Call now.
Call 1-800-232-1564. That's 1-800-232-1564. Call now or go to eggsitter.com. Order now.
Our nation's servicemen and women show great courage and leadership, both on and off the battlefield. When they transition to civilian life, they can apply the skills and values they learned in the military to the workplace. That's why the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes is urging employers everywhere to be smart, bet on a vet. Hiring a veteran is also a great way to show your appreciation for them. To learn more, call 1-888-44-SALUTE.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
74-hour air temperature, we have a dew point value of exactly the same, 100% relative humidity when those two values meet, and so consequently feeling a little sticky out there. The forecast looks almost identical to where we were over the last 4 or 5 days. That is, we go through the morning hours with pretty quiet conditions, head into the afternoon with temperatures in the 90s, low 90s, and we factor in Early on in the afternoon, a good chance of showers and thunderstorms building, coming up at us from the southeast, moving off to the northwest out into the Gulf waters, and producing at times frequent lightning strikes and heavy downpours of rain. That's going to be true right straight through the weekend, it looks like. Titan radar right now pretty quiet. We've got a few areas that still have issues with river flooding, of course. We have the Manatee River, the Myakka River, and the Peace River all at or slightly above flood stage. Minor flooding, nothing really serious. In fact, the Myakka State Park is open, and they tell me that the parking lot is just fine out there if you want to recreate this weekend. So the chance for formation of this system has remained unchanged over the last 24 hours. The Hurricane Center is still giving it about a 10% chance over a 5-day period of having some sort of formation. They kind of expected that to happen. They had to wait until the window of opportunity for formation matched their 5-day forecast, so that's why it didn't come out until yesterday. I'm not really terribly concerned about this system. If it did develop, it would be on a track that would carry it out into Gulf waters, and when it did develop, it's not going to happen until it gets into those Gulf waters, and at that point it's heading away from the state of Florida, so not a big issue for us. This will not be a windstorm. This will not be a heavy surf storm. What it maybe is a rainstorm for us. It might enhance our rainfall chances as around this area of high pressure, the easterly winds continue and it rotates that system out into the Gulf. It might take some moisture with it. Computer models have kind of backed off. There's only one Navy model that's kind of showing any kind of development with this system, and not until it gets into the northern Gulf Coast. For us, we'll expect to see the moisture arrive here probably on Monday in the southern tip of the state. I think that at the present time, if I had to wager a guess, I'd say the east coast of Florida and the southern tip of the Florida will be the two places that get the most rainfall, that and the northern Gulf Coast. For us, though, we certainly will see an enhanced rainfall chance as we head into Monday and Tuesday as that moisture kind of lifts northward. I think we'll probably pick up an additional 2 inches of rainfall or so over the course of Monday and Tuesday. So, you know, as you head into the 5-day period ahead, probably we're looking at maybe an additional 5 inches of rainfall till the time we get to Thursday of next week. I think our rivers and streams can handle that. Of course, if anything changes, we'll let you know. There might even be some little bit of drier air indicated here by this blue coming our way on Sunday. So we might even see a little bit more sunshine on Sunday and a little chance to dry out. We'll see how it plays out. East wind coming in at about 10. Moderate chop on your bay and inland waters today. Should be a pretty nice weekend for boating. Just watch those thunderstorms. Next couple of days, 60% chance of showers. I'll trend down the rain chance on Sunday, teeny tiny bit. And then as we head into next week, we'll be watching that system for any possible changes to the forecast. But I think maybe we'll just bump up the rain chance on Tuesday and Wednesday to about 70%. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Take a look outside and check out your first alert traffic out there. So far, no real traffic issues. Starting off in Manatee, those roads are running pretty clear for the most part at this time. And then head a little bit farther south into Sarasota. Those roads are also looking pretty decent. Just a couple little slowdowns, but not too bad out there. And then a little bit farther south into the area, if you are looking for, if you're headed towards Port Charlotte, 75 or 41 south are both running pretty smooth so far. Not too bad out there.
Well, speaking of traffic, the state is asking you what improvements you think need to be made on a stretch of 41 around the airport. We're talking about the stretch between University Parkway and Whitfield Avenue. It actually straddles the Sarasota-Manatee County line. FDOT is starting a study now on how to make this stretch better for drivers, bicyclists, and pedestrians. The agency is asking people to fill out a survey, and then an engineering team will analyze the results.
This morning, mystery solved. Finally, it's a video that had everybody talking this week. A mysterious woman caught on surveillance camera ringing a doorbell in the middle of the night in one Texas neighborhood. So who is she and what happened? Well, now we know. Sophia Beausoleil has a story, and it's a doozy.
It was 6 days ago, a barefoot woman wearing a t-shirt and restraints around her wrist rang doorbells in the middle of the night in the Sunrise Ranch subdivision.
Looking at the video itself, it's alarming.
People around the world wanted to know, was she in harm's way? We've learned she's safe, but the man accused of possibly sexually assaulting her is dead.
He committed suicide.
49-year-old Dennis Collins used a handgun and shot himself in the chest Wednesday morning. Authorities arrived to this home on Sunrise Pines Drive after his ex-wife called for help after he sent her suicidal text messages. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office says he did leave a suicide note and said the woman in the ring video was his girlfriend.
He laid, at fault for what he'd done. He admitted to that he did what he did to her that was seen in the video.
Deputies say after no one answered their doors, the 32-year-old woman went back to the rental home she and Collins have shared for the past 4 months. Investigators say Saturday morning she managed to drive to Dallas, where her family is.
Mr. Collins used the restraints on her, and then after that she was able to break free. Then she was able to go get help. And then she was out. How long she was tied up, or if she was fully, completely tied, those are details that we just don't have yet.
Texas Rangers spoke with the woman who confirmed certain information and told them that the restraints seen in the video are the ones used in, quote, private, intimate encounters.
And she's pretty upset. She's very distraught about this. She's embarrassed. She's upset. She's in shock that this has come to this.
Now, interestingly, the woman was never reported missing as a missing person. She's now safe and with her family. Police do say if her boyfriend had lived, there absolutely would have been criminal charges filed in that case.
And as Paul Harvey said, now you know the rest of the story.
Yeah, there could not have. The whole thing just took so many bizarre twists. And to be living, I mean, she was over one street over, just one street away from all this. Well, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, new Apple iPhones are out in just 2 weeks. We've got a preview. Plus, how in the world did Lego manage to make a Lego car that actually runs? The answer coming up in today's Tech Bites.
And next half hour at 5:30, a developing story out of New Mexico where a truck blew a tire and drove head-on into a packed passenger bus. At least 7 are dead. Witness accounts coming up.
Don't hide it. We know that sometimes emotions just get the better of you, especially at the Honda Summer Spectacular event. And we know getting a deal on the Honda Civic, a 2018 KBB.com Best Buy, can be quite liberating, especially when this stylish Honda Civic comes with Sport Mode.
Yes! Yes!
Express what you're feeling at the Honda Summer Spectacular event.
I'm happy you're happy.
Visit your local Honda dealer and test drive the Honda Civic today.
Me. Oh, come on, man. Oh, man, I love technology. Hey, check out my new phone. Look at this right here. For years, the DeSoto Club has needed improvements. Join me and Boys and Girls Club of Manatee County as we raise money to build a brand new facility. It will be bigger and better, just like it was 40 years ago when I attended. Invest in kids, build great futures.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
Welcome back. It is 5:24. New Apple iPhones out in less than 2 weeks, plus an actual working car made out of Legos.
Those stories in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, a big reveal coming soon from Apple.
The tech giant's expected to unveil up to 3 new iPhones, including a larger version on the iPhone 10. The event set for September 12th, but the invitation is short on details, simply stating, gather round. BTS is now a YouTube record setter.
It's your earworm for the day. Not really. The Korean boy band hit 100 million views faster than any other music video. BTS has been around for 5 years and have a huge social media presence. That's really cool. And talk about roadblocks. Bugatti made a car out of 1 million Legos.
And it's fully working. There are some plastic parts that were 3D printed, but the headlight, seats, doors, dashboard, nearly everything else is made of Legos, and it can go 18 miles per hour. Woo!
Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Fruit of the Loom.
Fruit of the Loom's Everlight underwear is so light, you won't even notice you're wearing it. Now, are you really not going to notice the underwear you're wearing? No, you're not.
Excuse me, do you have any more of these pistachio scones?
Because it's made from incredibly light material and no panty lines, so no one else will notice either. And going unnoticed can sometimes be quite nice.
Guys, I need someone to work the weekend. Karen, see you Saturday.
What? A noticeably light Everlight from Fruit of the Loom.
You're made of trillions of cells. They work together doing important stuff. The hitch? Like you, your cells get hungry. Feed them with Centrum micronutrients, restoring your awesome daily. Centrum, feed your cells.
So you have your headphones, chair, and your laptop, 24/7 tech support.
Yep, thanks guys. I think he might need some support.
Start them off right with the school supplies they need at low prices all summer long. Now save $150 on this Dell notebook at Office Depot Office Max.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
A promise was made. A promise that hit the beaches of Normandy. A vow that captured Iwo Jima. A contract that weathered Tet. A pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq. An IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
It was horrible. There was people trying to climb out of the windows of the bus.
At least 7 are dead, 10 injured after a head-on fatal bus crash in New Mexico. We're going to tell you what happened this morning.
Plus, happening today, the late singer Aretha Franklin will be laid to rest in Detroit this morning.
And we are a day away from the start of Labor Day weekend. Florida Highway Patrol will be out in full force this weekend looking for drunk and drug drivers. We have those stories, plus your holiday forecast right now on Good Morning Suncoast. And good morning to you. It is 5:30 on this Friday morning. I'm Stephanie Webb.
And I'm Ray Collins. Everyone wants to know about the weekend forecast. John Scalzi has details of what you might be seeing on this Labor Day weekend, sir.
You're going to see a little bit more sunshine to start the day, just like I do when I look over at the anchor desk. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, John.
Yeah, you're welcome. We got a little bit more sunshine in the forecast for you today as some of the cloud cover kind of eroded away, leaving us with a little bit more chance to see the temperatures rise a little quicker. That's nice. And get up to a temperature of about 90. Maybe get those rain showers starting a little earlier. Get them over with before the time we get to the evening hours when a lot of people, I think, will be pouring out into the streets. Forecast calls for a daytime high topping out near 92. Back to you.
Talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking the roads right now. Here's the scene in Manatee County. Not much to speak of so far. So far, so good. Checking farther south, here's the northern half of Sarasota County. A little red there at the base of your screen. 41 northbound. After you get past Clark Road or Stickney Point Road there and start heading north, a little congestion spot there for some reason. And then our final map to the south will show us a little problem there at the base of your screen, southbound 41, as you're approaching the Hillsborough Boulevard area. Stephanie?
All right, thanks, Ray. Well, a devastating head-on collision in New Mexico has killed 7, injured at least 10. John Lawrence has the story.
Death and destruction on a New Mexico roadway.
Speaking to the officers when they first got here, it was chaos.
Authorities say a semi-truck blew a tire, crossed the median, and hit a Greyhound bus head-on. Several fatalities were confirmed Thursday, and some survivors have serious injuries.
It was horrible. There was people trying to climb out of the windows of the bus. There was people on scene that were bystanders that were trying to help. People getting ladders out of their truck to get up to the windows.
There were 49 people on the bus, including the driver. Only one person was on board the truck.
As we went by, the overturned semi, everything that was in the trailer was out on the road. It was a disaster.
No word yet on what caused the truck's tire to explode.
That's why the crash reconstruction units here, they have specialized drones and equipment that they can measure the tires and all that stuff, and they get that information.
The National Transportation Safety Board is involved with the investigation into the crash. A Greyhound spokeswoman issued a statement which says, in part, our thoughts and prayers are with everyone as we continue to give our support to all affected. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
5:33 now. The number of children separated from their parents at the border has gone from 2,000 down to about 500. That includes 22 children under the age of 5. Some were in foster care or kept in government facilities. Their parents were caught crossing the border illegally.
Well, the mother of late Senator John McCain will attend his funeral services in Washington, D.C. and in Maryland. 106-year-old Roberta McCain is expected to be present for memorials for her son at the Capitol, the National Cathedral, and the Naval Academy. And here's a live look right now of the U.S. Capitol where the late funeral services for John McCain will be held. There's also going to be a formal ceremony there honoring McCain's life and his service to the nation. Another service will be held Saturday at the National Cathedral. Former Presidents Barack Obama and George W. Bush are both expected to deliver eulogies there. And then on Sunday, there's going to be a private service held at the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. Now, the McCain matriarch will be at all of those services.
Happening today, the late singer Aretha Franklin will be laid to rest this morning. The funeral will be held at the Greater Grace Temple in Detroit at 10 a.m. Celebrities from across the world will be there to say their final goodbyes. Church officials are honored to be hosting this event.
One of the things that we'll cherish in the history of this church.
This service is expected to take 6.5 hours.
Wow.
Franklin died earlier this month from pancreatic cancer at the age of 76. During this red tide outbreak, Florida Fish and Wildlife is asking fishermen to release any snook or redfish they catch.
Saturday around 4 o'clock.
That orders from Manatee County south to Collier County. FWC says will remain in effect until they can reassess conditions at their next commission meeting, which is in late September.
Well, if you plan on hitting the road for Labor Day, state troopers are reminding people to stay alert on the roads, meaning stay awake behind the wheel. Avoid driving at times when you might normally be asleep. Get enough rest before you drive. Take a break maybe every 2 hours. And if you do start feeling tired while driving, pull over into a safe place and maybe grab a quick nap if you can. And here's one that's also easy to forget. Make sure that you read the warning information on any medication that you might take, just in case drowsiness may be a side effect. And to the least surprising story of the day, gas prices are expected to spike this weekend with the holiday at hand. But some good news to follow. AAA is predicting the price of gas will drop to about $2.70 a gallon, maybe even a little bit lower. Right now, the national average is about $2.83 a gallon. Around the Suncoast, you can get it right now for $2.73 at the Shell station on Washington, according to Gas Buddy. Both that app and the Waze app are the most popular for finding the cheapest gas prices in the area.
USA Gymnastics is facing questions today about its decision to hire a coach who initially defended convicted felon Larry Nassar. They hired Mary Lee Tracy this week as the new developmental coordinator. Now, she defended Nassar even after almost 50 women said they've been abused. Reporter Kristen Swilley has Tracy's side of the story.
Would I say that anymore? Absolutely not. I wouldn't say that anymore. The man is a monster.
Mary Lee Tracy says she was speaking her truth when she defended the Larry Nassar she knew for more than 25 years in this 9 on Your Side interview from late 2016.
I never negated anyone else's experience, but neither was I going to make up something that didn't happen. Those awful things that I had heard, none of my athletes had told me that, and I had asked many of them if any of this happened to them.
When USA Gymnastics announced Tracy would be the organization's new elite development coordinator, reaction was swift. Gold medal Olympian Allie Raceman tweeted that Tracy victim shamed survivors and was unwilling to learn from the past. She also retweeted this snippet of our WCPO.com article where Tracy said Nassar had protected kids and been amazing.
But as we all find out, that these people are that good. They are master manipulators. And he didn't just fool me and all these athletes, he fooled lots of parents, lots of coaches, lots of administrative people.
Since her appointment was announced, Tracy says criticism has turned to downright threats, including emails to herself and her staff. One even said she belonged in a jail cell right next to Nassar.
But I will not do it if this public bullying, cyberbullying me continues.
Tracy also says she believes she is the right person for this particular job.
Well, we've seen little sun here on the Suncoast this week. Lots of rain, though, means plenty of flooding throughout the area, especially in the city of Venice. The majority of the flooded streets and walkways have been seen in lower-lying areas and some areas near the bay. Now, the storm drainage systems there have worked to some degree.
We have a system of pipes and infrastructure throughout the city, but we still get storm events such as this week that overwhelm those pipes. They're just too intense and the pipes can't catch up. Or what we see a lot is debris that will clog up the pipes and temporarily cause some of the street flooding we've seen this week.
Now, the city has had crews out on those streets clearing debris almost every single day there.
Last year's hurricanes and wildfires caused billions of dollars in damage. Those with homeowners insurance were reimbursed, but those without coverage had to suffer. Here are some tips now. 1, review your coverage. Check what insurance covers each year and adjust it to correct any shortfalls. Know what's covered and know what's excluded. Damage from floods and water backups are not included in homeowners' policies. And opt for full replacement. Many people who filed claims found they were actually underinsured.
And losses from Hurricane Irma last year sent the value of the 2017-2018 Florida citrus crop plummeting almost 41%. The Department of Agriculture set the total citrus crop value at just over $550 million, which sounds like a lot, but it's actually down from the original estimate of over $900 million. Also, the number of acres here devoted to growing those citrus products has declined pretty much every year since 2000 due to more commercial development.
That deadly fire in California is now finally contained. 8 people died in connection to that fire that began 5 weeks ago. It burned nearly 230,000 acres and wiped out more than 1,000 homes in Shasta County. Officials say it was sparked from a vehicle driving on a flat tire. Crews will patrol the burn area for several more days.
Well, right in broad daylight. Get this. In just a minute here, we're going to show you about $30,000 worth of iPhones and MacBooks were stolen from an Apple store in California last weekend. Look at while this happening. Talk about bold. Police say these 4 suspects entered the store middle of the day wearing hoodies and just grabbed the items that were actually tethered to those display units and then ran off. All they know at this point is that they were driving a black SUV, also wearing hoodies, so not so much information there. Well, looking ahead to the weekend with all the red tide debris, Manatee County Parks and Natural Resources, they're going to be hosting another volunteer cleanup event at Palmasola Causeway. This one's going to take place tomorrow at the boat ramp from 7:30 in the morning to about 9 in the morning. Park staff is going to be on hand. They will be providing masks and buckets for you in that case.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, the search continues this morning for a shoplifter who forced the lockdown of a northern Manatee school. We'll have a live update, but first at 5:41, here's a peek outside our studios at the Rosemary District.
There it is. This is a day before the holiday weekend starts. We're going to have your full holiday weekend forecast, what you can expect, but first a little preview from John Scalzi.
Well, for the school bus forecast this morning, there's really no surprises here. I think most of the kids will get off at the bus stops this morning. Pickup time at about 76 degrees with a little chance of rainfall. But on the way home, there will be scattered showers around 90-degree air temperature at that point. 7 out of 10 chance that the kids have an outside recess today. Don't see much in the way of a problem, except the fields, of course, are going to be really soggy as the ground is saturated. That could be a problem for upcoming rain showers over the weekend. We'll talk about that coming up in a second.
So you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree? Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half-mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. In the park on a bench, on the beach on a towel, or on your couch with your kid, your campus is wherever you want it to be. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. You schedule classes around your schedule, and all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. At Independence U, you'll learn from professional instructors with real work experience. You'll get personal support in school and employment assistance when you graduate. Get your degree, but keep your life. That's independence. That's Independence University. So if you're really smart, you'd call now.
Call 1-800-965-2704.
Independence U for an independent you.
Call 1-800-965-2704.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 78.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
74 degrees the air temperature. Dew point value also at 74, 74 match, bringing us to 100% relative humidity. East-northeast wind continues at about 7. That east wind continues throughout the day today and gives us again a pattern that we've become familiar with this week. That is quiet during the morning hours, followed by increasing rain chances by lunch. Then shortly after lunch, showers and thunderstorms beginning to build, lingering through 3 p.m. hour and into even the 5, 6, 7 o'clock hour. After that, I think everything should be pretty quiet. So if you're going to be out and about later on this evening, maybe taking a walk along the beach perhaps, should be okay as we head into the sunset hours. I think everything will kind of wind down significantly. So we have a couple of rivers that are still at bank full or slightly above, but they are really only showing signs of minor flooding right now. And I think as we head into the weekend, it will allow for a lot of those rivers to kind of maintain or perhaps even decrease in their flow. Nothing in the way of any kind of radar echoes this morning. We are seeing the showers starting to approach the east coast of the state, thanks to that easterly wind flow already at this hour. Chance for formation for this system remains unchanged at 10%. It's kind of a smattering of random clouds. None of these clouds and thunderstorms are talking to each other yet. There's no circulation at the surface. There's no organization whatsoever. And there won't be for the next several days because upper level winds are strong. In fact, I think winds are going to hurt this system significantly. But as it is forecast to continue drifting toward the Gulf waters, it's one we'll watch for, mostly an increase in rainfall chances. Don't see much in terms of development of this system that could impact us. I don't think we'll see anything in the way of strong gusty winds associated with the system, but I think South Florida and the East Coast could see some fairly heavy rainfall. For us, I think we might on Monday and Tuesday maybe pick up an additional couple of inches of rainfall with this system as it heads up toward the northern Gulf Coast, where it's probably going to produce some fairly heavy rainfall there. That could change, of course, as you can see, the slug of moisture lifting northward. Any deviation right or left to the state of Florida can really markedly increase the amount of rain that we get with this system as it lifts toward Texas. But if it did develop, it would develop out in the Gulf waters and move away from the state of Florida, so really not an issue for us there. It's really only rainfall, and right now most of the computer models are suggesting the southern tip of the state and the eastern part of the state will be the places in Florida that get the most rainfall. So the slug of moisture lifts northward today. You can see all the heavy moisture across our region supporting the heavier showers later on today and tomorrow. But then look, see these blue colors? This is the moisture available to produce rainfall in the atmosphere from the ground all the way to the top of the clouds. And these blue colors are slightly less moisture in the air. And I think maybe on Sunday we might see a little bit more sunshine than we do rainfall. We'll see if that plays out. But then there's that slug of moisture lifting northward that produces the heavier rainfall for the state of Florida. And we'll be monitoring that to see just how much rain we do actually get. But the rainfall futurecast shows our area perhaps picking up between Sunday and Wednesday of next week an additional 2, maybe 3 inches of rain over and above what we would normally see. And then on the other coast, they really get hammered with perhaps as much, and in the southern tip of the state, as much as maybe 4 or 5 inches of rain. Again, this is theory. We'll have to wait and see how this evolves, but so far I'm not terribly worried about this system. East wind coming in at about 10 this evening, 5 to 10 knot wind, moderate chop, 2-foot seas. Should be nice over the weekend. Just watch those thunderstorms. 60% chance of showers today and tomorrow, a little bit less on Sunday, and then rain chances go back up on Tuesday with that wave approaching, and kind of go back down again as the wave departs on Thursday. Back to you.
Thank you, John. Let's check out your first alert traffic in Manatee County. Roads are not looking too bad. 301 State Road 70, a few slowdowns there, but no big deal. Heading into Sarasota County, those roads are looking pretty good as well. And if your commute is going to take you a little bit farther south into Port Charlotte area or farther south toward Naples, both 75 and 41 are running pretty smooth out there so far this morning. Well, today the hunt continues for a Walmart shoplifter after the incident sent one school into lockdown mode yesterday.
Very unusual story. Marla Spence explains what happened. She's live outside the Manatee School for the Arts in Palmetto. Marla?
Guys, police say they are continuing to search for that shoplifter this morning after taking a number of items from a local Walmart. That shoplifter ended up in this area near Manatee School of the Arts, forcing the school to go on lockdown. Now, police did search a wooded area near their school, but came up empty-handed. Take a look. These are surveillance photos showing this man shoplifting a generator and possibly some other items from the Palmetto Walmart. Manatee School of the Arts campus security spotted the man near the school on Haven Boulevard Thursday afternoon, forcing the school to go on lockdown. Now, the shoplifter is described by police as being a white male in his 40s or 50s with a bald head and band tattoo. He was wearing black shorts and a black shirt.
A rumor went out, I guess it started with some of the kids at the school calling their parents saying that there was an armed man on campus. That was never the case. This is a shoplifting suspect.
And if you recognize this man or know his whereabouts, you are urged to call Palmetto Police. Reporting live in Palmetto, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Marla. Well, can you believe today marks 21 years since Princess Diana died in that car accident, but her memory is still kept alive by her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, and of course with all those various nonprofits still in her name. Now, if you watched her funeral back in the day, you weren't alone. It is still one of the biggest worldwide televised events with over 2.5 billion people watching all at the same time.
I recall those sirens watching that coverage that night.
I remember, and I got to go. I was at her childhood home in Althorpe. My old station in Michigan sent us out there to go sit down with her brother, Lord Spencer, and I got to see the island that she's buried on, and tour her estate and see the home that she grew up in. And it has been, and I grew up loving Princess Diana, so it is one of my favorite memories of my whole life is, you know, being a part of it.
Such a tragic and abrupt ending all these years later.
So much good that she had left to do.
Yeah, that's true. 5:51, we'll update the day's top news headlines after this. Stay with us.
We've been fighting the war on drugs for a long time. We answer the phone 24/7, 365 days a year. On a busy night, we answer hundreds of calls. This war on drugs needs our intervention.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has helped people struggling with drugs and alcohol.
When the phone rings, we help people when they need it the most. When we get a caller into treatment, it feels right. It feels good. It's a blessing.
If you're struggling, drinking, using, and need to get clean, don't suffer alone in silence. Call Addiction Hope and Helpline.
Our people understand, and many are also in recovery. Call for support and strength. You can call for someone who can't or isn't willing. It's an act of love. Together we can help you beat this thing and erase addiction from your vocabulary once and for all.
Call 800-871-1644. 800-871-1644.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think it up.
Here's a pretty shot looking south at downtown Sarasota. Beautiful scene right there. We'll find out in about a minute how the weather will be for this Friday before Labor Day.
It is 5:54, and here are some of the top stories that we've been following for you today.
Most marine scientists say, make no mistake, pollution from Lake Okeechobee has nothing to do with the red tide outbreak. They say there is no single cause for the toxic algae bloom.
Plus, another red tide cleanup, this one tomorrow morning again at Palmasola Causeway, and they need your help. It starts at 7:30, ends around 9, and they are providing masks and buckets.
And the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office put an active shooter training course on yesterday for dozens of workers in the local hospitality industry. Employees range from front desk clerks at hotels and restaurants to wait staff in area restaurants. The one-time event was held at the Regency in Sarasota.
And now over to John for another look at your First Alert forecast for today.
Yeah, so a couple of things to take home and remember over the course of this holiday weekend. We'll probably have sunshine or at least partly sunny skies to start each and every morning, but that'll be followed by these gusty afternoon thunderstorms. And remember, more people die from lightning strikes while fishing than any other outdoor activity. So bear that in mind. It's going to be a busy boating weekend. And we're watching the tropics, looking for development there east of Africa. Plus, we've got some issues a little bit closer to home in terms of some rainfall over the course of the next 5 days. We'll talk about that in detail in the next hour.
Well, two very different funerals today in the world. We've got Aretha Franklin and John McCain.
Right. One has Stevie Wonder and Jennifer Hudson performing. One has Barack Obama and George W. Bush speaking later on this weekend.
You decide which is which.
Right. We're going to let you figure that out. We'll be back with another hour. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast.